fully effective. So I guess when you're building a new government, there unfortunately is some pains and some problems that you're going to have to either accept or somehow be in between, if that's even possible, without negating your sovereignty. And one other thing that my colleagues studied in their research about this is that it seems to me that unless you are recognized as a state, not just a nation, but as a state, the only other way to get out of the system is to secede. And to do that, according to like certain tenets of international law, you might have to do it, obviously it'd have to be peacefully. You'd have to prove that the government that is trying to control you is grossly violating your human rights. Okay? Which, right, no, I know. But you have to be able to show that. Now, right, of course.
Birth certificate, it's a given.
Right, no, that's true. But the problem is, if you follow the tenets of international law, maybe you'll never get to where you want to be anyway. And that's why I say international law is not really a valid tool at this point. We really need to fall back upon our innate and inalienable rights. But then it's a question of. Should I go into this story? I don't know. Well, there's a little book called The 100th Monkey by Ken Keyes Jr., and which is a great book, Ken Keyes Jr., and he talks about this archipelago of islands in the South Pacific that had these little monkeys on it that these scientists were studying back in the 1950s. And they were watching how the monkeys ate their sweet potatoes, and they would eat them dirty. They had sand and stuff on them. Well, the scientists took those, they dipped them in the water to clean them off, and then one of the monkeys tried, like, that's good. They liked it. So that little monkey told her brother or sister, showed the washing, and then the other monkeys in the tribe, not all of them, not the people who had sort of set idea of what had to be and the way things were, they didn't change. But these other monkeys who saw it and actually were willing to try, they did see the change, and they liked the taste of their sweet potatoes. Well, what happened, and this is what the scientists could not explain, was after a certain time, all the monkeys on the island, this one island, were washing their sweet potatoes. And so Ken Keyes in this book says, well, maybe it was that 100th monkey who said, okay, I'm going to wash my sweet potato too, because what happened next was that knowledge of washing the sweet potatoes went over to the other islands that were not attached in this archipelago, and those other monkeys started washing their sweet potatoes too. How did that knowledge pass? Was it extrasensory perception? I don't know. But it took that extra power of that 100th monkey, and in our case, what I would say is like that 100th world citizen, or maybe that 100 millionth or billionth person who says, okay, yes, I am a world citizen, or whatever it is, that 100 millionth person who says, I am a more, to get to that certain level of understanding and awareness, okay, that you need to have a global mind change. Okay, that's really what we're trying to do at World Service Authority, is to bring about this global mind change, and it's not easy. We're up against the powers that be. I mean, Schopenhauer, philosopher, said truth passes through three phases. First, it's ridiculed. Second, it's violently opposed. Third, it's accepted as self-evident. Okay? Right now, the nation-state system and the way it's treating us, it's ridiculing like an idea of being global, or it could be ridiculing your idea of being fully fledged wars with the government. It's violently opposing us. I mean, look at all the wars that are going on. Look at all the military that's being built up that's opposing us. And hopefully at some point, though, it's right there before our faces, it will be self-evident that, okay, yes, we have this right to be this. We have this right, whether it's to be Moorish or to be a world citizen. Anyway, did you have another question?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some understanding.
Sure. So I keep taking. I'm better with the sort of the big picture than I might be with the specifics. But go ahead.
Okay, the statement you made about international law, you say international law is not really.
Well, I said it's an oxymoron. I mean, because it's not enforced. I mean, if the U.S. government, because it has so much power, and I have to say it's military might really, and enforcement power, so they can do what they want. Who was it? I think it was Argentina took them to the International Court of Justice in a compulsory jurisdiction case because the U.S. government was fishing off their waters. And yet the U.S. government lost that case, but they still kept fishing because they knew that Argentina couldn't do anything about it.
Yes.
So
what I'm saying is this. So we would have to know, we would have to have people who represented the Moorish nation who understood vocabulary or the language of international law, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes, that's such an important point.
I mean, this is a big step to take.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm,
Yes.
I'm just going over the document on the memorandum that you had. So it's not,
Right.
it's not something that you just jump and say, well, I'm North American.
Well, you can't. No, that is the first step. You have to say, I am this. You
Okay,
say it.
yeah, but I
But
mean,
then you have to back it up.
Yeah, after that, so when you said international law, it's really an oxymoron. So, but there are international attorneys who put this together. So
Right,
it's
that's right.
International law. So, in order for us to really go to the next step after we go to the UN, if that's what decided that we need to do,
Right.
then we're going to have to be represented by attorneys, right, who speak that language.
I don't. Well, no. Anyone. I mean, I'm very much in favor of democratization of knowledge. I cannot stand when I have to pay, $90 an hour to a plumber to fix my toilet, when I could maybe go online now, thank God for the internet, and I can look up, okay, well, leaky toilet. Here's what I can do, and I might be able to fix it myself. Okay, and that's democratization of knowledge. You don't have to go to a lawyer. I mean, I would tell people, don't come to me just because I'm a lawyer. That doesn't mean anything. Just because I went to school for a few years and studied some cases.
Well,
Who cares?
Okay, because we can study Black Law Dictionary.
Right.
But the thing is, I'm talking about to get from point A to point B in order to, you have to speak the language.
Well, right. I mean, you have,
So,
right.
I mean,
law is a language.
Yeah.
Right. You're right. No, you're right. I think to be an effective government, I mean, Gary Davis, he doesn't have any formal training. He only went, I think, maybe 1 year to acting school after high school. And that was it. Yet he's one of the, I would say he's probably one of the most, in my mind, renowned lawyers, but he's not really a lawyer, but renowned lawyers just in the fact of the knowledge that he has. I mean, he's taken a case before in the D.C. Appeals Court, to the U.S. Supreme Court, and into the International Criminal Court, and most recently to the International Court of Justice, and most recently to the International Criminal Court. And almost all these briefs he wrote himself. It's just a question of studying. I mean, law, like whether it's a language like Chinese or something, as long as you have some time and can delve into it, you can do it. I mean, we'll be there to back you up. Sure, if you have a question of law or a point of law that you need a different viewpoint on, we'll try to be there.